Hey everybody, I'm Paste Magazine TV editor Allison Keene.
And I'm Paste Editor-in-Chief Josh Jackson, and this is our office dog for the day, Nico.
And we are talking about our appreciation of BoJack Horseman, which is appropriate to have both humans and animals as part of our video today. BoJack Horseman is an animated series on Netflix about a washed-up sitcom star who happens to be an anthropomorphic horse. And as our own Liz Shannon Miller wrote, wow, what wacky adventures we've had with this cartoon horse, huh? So many shenanigans, like the time he stole the D from the Hollywood sign, and the time that he and his pals snuck into the Nixon Presidential Library to shoot a scene for a movie, and the time he nearly slept with the 17-year-old daughter of a longtime friend, and took a young woman on a bender that led to her dying of a heroin overdose, and traumatized his co-star by choking her on set while high out of his mind. Hey, it's BoJack Horseman.
That description of BoJack, I think, gets you halfway there.
It's the series is created by Raphael Bob-Waksberg. It stars Will Arnett, Aaron Paul, Amy Sedaris, Paul F. Tompkins. It's sad. It's hilarious. It's a satire.
It's so funny. It's so beautiful. It's sweet. It is moral. You hear that description and you think, oh, this is another just character just being disgusting and horrible, and it doesn't really capture the fact that you fall in love with this horse and root for him through all of these horrible decisions he makes. And I think that's what is so brilliant about the show. I don't think there is a show, animated or otherwise, that has captured the zeitgeist of our times in these last 5 years like BoJack Horseman. It is a beautiful, redemptive story, but what it does, particularly in this last season, is that I've never seen a show even attempt to do, much less do so well, is balance the idea that we can be redeemed, that we can get better, that we are on a journey to improve ourselves and get things right, while at the same time recognizing, particularly for public figures who have done horrible damage in the Me Too era and in our cancel culture, of, well, what is the reckoning that they face? What about the victims of all of the trauma that they've caused? What about the flip side of this? And that's what this last season in two halves has done. The first half was the sort of end of this redemptive arc that we've seen.
To be clear, it's not a feel-good story in any
not
way.
A feel-good story.
It's definitely a deep drama. Well, it's just a cartoon horse who is leading us through this journey.
In some ways, it is feel-good. I mean, like, there are moments that are beautifully feel-good, but then there are also moments where it really digs into what does it mean when when a public figure does horrible things and needs to have an accounting for that, and it's not just a glossed over. I mean, it shows sort of the PR version of that, and then shows, okay, well, let's dig deeper, and it digs really deep, and that's one of the things I love about this.
And in Hollywood as well, because we don't really have a good Hollywood satire.
Hollywood, to be fair.
Hollywood. There's no D anymore. Thanks, BoJack.
There are so many great in-jokes that are just like throughout the series, but it is. You're right. This is Hollywood, but not just Hollywood, media. It deals with media companies and sort of behind the scenes there, and what is it like to be at a hot new BuzzFeed-like media organization and just working and writing for something like that. What does it mean to be an agent or a book publisher or an assistant? I mean, there's a whole great series where the assistants in Hollywood all rebel, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant satire, but it's also very funny. There's a couple episodes that there's one episode that is almost nearly silent. It's the Underwater Film Festival that's like a miniature version of Lost in Translation. That it's beautiful, it's emotional, it's impactful, and then there's a hilarious punchline at the end. Same thing with an episode that's all at a funeral, where it's basically BoJack giving a monologue for the entire episode. Again, a hilarious punchline at the end. It's this emotional gut punch, but also very, very funny.
Definitely underrated. I think there's always a barrier with animation that people think that it's too cartoonish. Maybe it's for kids. This is definitely not for kids. If that opening line didn't
not for kids.
Tell you enough about that. But also it's just there may be too much darkness or pretension, but it sounds like BoJack is a show that has always balanced that particularly well.
Yeah, and this is a show, when I first started watching, I did not love the animation style. There were some barriers for me getting into it, but once I got in, it is probably my favorite animated show of all time.
And it has just wrapped, so you can find all 6 seasons currently available on Netflix. And for more picks and recommendations, join us at pastemagazine.com.